Hello, it's Marco here from Markom3D, and today we're going to be talking about the AlphaTrees add-on. Now, as per usual, at the start, we're going to be talking about how the add-on works and what it does, and then in the second half, we're going to be creating something with it. The video from before, kind of doing stuff, and that will cover animations and so on and so forth. But if this video is helpful, please make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't already, welcome to the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with my content, and because it really does help me out. Let's get into it. So from here, all I've done is I've created a landscape using the ant tool. If you want to know how to create landscapes super quickly, there is a link in the description on how to do that. So with the AlphaTrees add-on already up here, I've gone into trees and particle. I'm going to press the plus sign. Boop. And there we go, that's created our kind of particle system. Let's go into new settings. Let's now come and select our camera. So this will be our camera. Now that's fairly important because what actually happens is the tree's billboard to the camera. So what that means, it always faces the camera. So even if the camera rotates, the actual particles will rotate themselves. From here, we come down and we press the plus sign to add in our tree. Let's select the tree. Now I've created a few trees in here as well. So if you want me to talk to the developer and get my trees into there, leave a comment below letting me know if you want me to do that. But let's go ahead and I'm going to select maybe some oak trees. There we go. So we've got a nice big pile of oak trees. And we can go in and we can add different trees as well. And let's add maybe some birch trees. I'm pretty sure they're called birch trees. And now if we go into rendered view, we can see what it actually looks like. So let's come back up here under settings to random scale. I'm just going to increase the random size so they're not all the same. And now when I come here and move my camera, G, you can kind of see how the trees follow the camera. That is pretty cool. Let me just fix up this sunlight. And let's just move the camera around, just something like this, G. Let's maybe increase the scale. Let's go back a bit, GZZ. Now we can still see the ground, so let's fix up the ground. I'm gonna come over here into the materials, new material, wham bam thank you ma'am. I'm just gonna make it like a greeny color. Dark green, doesn't need to be anything too flash. And there we have it. We've kind of got this really cool scene without doing much work. But we can do some really cool stuff as well. So if we keep coming down all the way to the bottom, we can actually add snow. So if I kind of turn this slider up, on the birch 2 trees, they're going to be snow, so we have to kind of do it to all the trees. Funnily enough, it looks like my trees are the big trees. But we're kind of having now a winter wonderland. It just looks black and white. But now let's go about creating that first initial video of the trees dying and then coming back to life. So let's start off by animating the camera. We've got our empty at the front, down the bottom here. Let's go Shift A, empty, plane axis. What I'm going to do is select our camera and then our empty. Press Control P to parent the camera to the empty. I'm just going to click Object. So what that means now is if I have the empty selected, I press Rotate. The camera will now rotate around that point. Lovely. So what does that mean? So now I can press I to set a keyframe, and I'm going to set rotation. Let's make this probably a 500 frame animation. But what we actually need to do is set it to 499 and make frame 500 our first frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate Z, so R, then Z, 360, and enter. Don't forget to set a keyframe by pressing I and rotation. And so now what we're going to have is, at the moment, we'll see that the camera starts off slow and then speeds up. So we can see that it starts slow and then we'll speed up around, which is not what we want. We kind of want that continuous loop around. So to change that, well, actually, we'll just watch it to the end here. You can see that it slows down, it stops, and then just starts up again. What we want is that continuous loop. So with all the keyframes selected down the bottom with double tap of A, I can press T to set the interpolation, and we're going to go linear. So now what's going to happen is it's kind of going around at a constant speed, and we're back to the start, fluid. Lovely. Okay, so what are we going to do from here? So at frame about 80, let's set all the particles to be kind of like what we want through the summer. So with our first tree selected, I'm just going to turn down the snow and let's just quickly do it to all 4 of them. Now I know that I want to be changing the death rate, I guess, the color of the leaves. And maybe that's about it. Maybe on one or two of the trees, maybe the birch trees can just have snow. Let's go with that. So what we need to do is on all 4 of them, I need to right click, set a keyframe on snow, right click, set a keyframe on dead, right click, set a keyframe on leaves. And now let's go ahead and do that on all 4 trees. So that means our midpoint is 250. So maybe at frame 200, let's have the trees be dead. That's not enough. Maybe we'll go down to 240. The trees die. Hang on. No, we want them to change color first. So what we'll do is maybe frame 150. Ooh, 180. Frame 180. I know, Captain Indecisive. Let's select one of our big trees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select our color. And our color to go kind of yellowy. Like that. Oh, beautiful. That's a really good color. Let's go and right click, insert keyframe. And what I'm going to do is select that. Let's go into hex. And I'm just going to copy that number. So let's click on that, hex, Control V, enter, and we're going to do that to all 3 of them. So I stuffed up. I was meant to actually keyframe the colors as well. So let's just undo all that. Let's come back to frame 80, I think it was, and let's keyframe the colors. So insert keyframe, because you can actually keyframe colors. So that's pretty cool. There we go. And now let's go to frame 180. And then from here, let's put our hex in. Right click, insert keyframe. There we go. So now if we press play, you can see that they all kind of change color. Good. And then probably about frame 240, let's kill our plants. Actually, no, yeah. So about frame 220, let's kind of maybe kill a few of our plants. So I'm going to select one of the oaks and let's just bump that up just a smidgen. Probably to about there. Right click, insert keyframe. And what I might do it to some other trees, maybe to the beech tree. Let's bump that up and whoops, set that keyframe. So now if we kind of watch, we can go the changing of the color. We can see some trees starting to pop off. And then come back around 3. Let's go, actually no, about 280. We need to right click, insert keyframe again, because what we need to do is actually blend them. Because if I were to change the dead ones now, what will actually happen is they'll go dead here and then they'll start respawning. So probably around frame 360, we'll bring these all back to 0.1. So 0.1, enter, right click, insert keyframe. I can now press Control C to copy that. And we can go Control V, right click, insert keyframe. And we can even press I, Control V, I. So hopefully then, what will happen is we've got our trees dying off. And they'll stay dead. Of course they will. Now, where did I set that keyframe now? I've already forgotten. Yeah, there we go. So that's where it should be. Yep. And then what we'll do is we'll change all those colors as well. So let's now maybe give our trees full life at 420. So let me just grab this color, Control C. And then, yeah, about 420, we'll go, sorry, let's go back to 360 and we need to set this color again. So let's just go I, and then that means at 440, we're going to have that full color. So let's come back in here, we'll grab this color there, 440, Control V, Control V. There we go. And don't forget to reset all the keyframes. So let's go I believe if I had done auto keyframing, this probably would have been faster, but silly Marco. And so now what we should have is a few trees dying. In the last animation, I just killed everything. And then we've got our greenery gap back. So the other thing you can kind of do as well is have the trees changing colors at different times. So for instance, we set everything at kind of like frame 120, all 4 of them. But there is no reason why you couldn't have some trees going at 145, some trees at 180, and then you have that the varying color range. Now the reason why I didn't go full dead is because our grass here isn't the best. I kind of just plopped something in there. But what I could have done is use the scatter add-on, and could have selected that. and biomes manager because there's a really nice grass texture in here, but I mean any texture would work. So for this one here, there we go. And then that's kind of like a really nice grass texture there. That's what I used on my last video. With the background, you can just use dynamic skies, which is kind of like a free sky. However, there is a new inbuilt sky, which I actually haven't played with yet, surprisingly enough, because I'm an idiot. Such a beautiful add-on, such a versatile add-on. Quick way to create forests without creating so many trees, but you are, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? I'll be definitely using this add-on in my web series coming up. I've got the first episode written. Now tonight I'll probably be writing the second one. So if you want to keep up to date, make sure you jump over to DeadSet Digital, hit the subscribe button. There should be a link in the description. Also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment if you want me to try and get my pack of trees into the add-on as well. And yes, until next time.